Because when someone is sad, what do we usually tell them? Be patient. Nobody ever tells you how. Everybody says be patient. Patience is a goal. There's no how to patience. You get there. You can't just say, oh, be patient, okay. Patient, got it. You can't do that. Still not coming, still not coming. You have to do certain other things that get you to patience. Patience is not something you can just do. It's an acquired power. It's an acquired, power. It's not something that's innate inside of us. That Allah Azza wa Jalla gave us the key to nurture patience. As a matter of fact, they're out in the middle of the desert, they don't have food supplies, and there's the sadness and trauma of that terrible history that they've lived. And yet Allah Azza wa Jalla, through the mouth of Musa alayhi salam, has them listen to this khutbah. وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمْ لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. Your master said if you could just be grateful even a little bit, he would absolutely guarantee, he said, I guarantee I will increase for you. I will give you more and more and more and more and more. What did he bring up? What things should you do? Be patient? No, be what? Be grateful. How are you telling a people that have lived nothing but misery? They've lived nothing but misery. And you're getting up on the minbar and you're telling them you need to be what? Grateful. You need to be grateful. This is the key remedy to sadness. The change of thought. Instead of thinking about patience, because patience means you're thinking about the trouble you had and now you're being patient over it. The messenger, Musa alayhi salam, changed the mindset of the entire people. He's saying, don't think about the sad things that have happened in your life. You need to focus on the good things that have happened in your life. And when you focus on the good things that have happened in your life, who will you give credit to? Allah Azza wa Jal, and that will make you grateful. And when you become grateful, what becomes easy? Patience becomes easy. When gratitude is not there, patience is impossible. Why do our ulama call sabr and shukr two wings of a bird? Bird can't fly with one wing. Why do they call it that? There's a reason. Because without gratitude, these people can't move on with their life. The Muslims will have to learn these remedies from the Quran. These are not going to come to you. I can talk about this. But it's not going to stick with you. What will stick with you is your relationship with the Quran. And when Allah removes your sadness from the Quran, when you personally become you have an emotional attachment to this word, to the word of Allah. When that happens for you, you will not be overwhelmed by sadness. Sadness will come and Allah will take it away. Then it will come and Allah will take it away again. And it will come and Allah will take it away again. It's not like when Allah said to the Prophet ﷺ, "Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar," he never experienced sadness again. He did, but Allah kept taking it away and taking it away and taking it away. So the Quran itself is a remedy. And if you have a distant relationship with the Quran, I don't know, then maybe some pills. Let me teach you what you will do to appreciate Allah. Here's how you appreciate Allah. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, irka'u wasjudu. Make ruku', make sajda. What is both of these things referring to? Salat. The first act Allah teaches first He complained about humanity. You're not doing your job in appreciating me. You believers, it's your turn. You need to appreciate me. The first step in appreciating me will be Salat. Where is your Salat? How much we appreciate our Salat is a good indication of how much we appreciate Allah. How active, how vigilant we are in getting up out of bed. How lazy we feel in making it to the masjid. How lazy we feel. How bored we are when the recitation is not entertaining enough. All of those are good indicators of where we stand before Allah Azza wa Jalla. Irka'u wasjudu. Make ruku' and make sajda. And irka'u wasjudu are parts of salat, but they're also attitudes. Somebody who doesn't know about prayer, doesn't know about the Muslim prayer. A non-Muslim guy walks by and he sees people making salat. He's going to notice these people are standing with their head down, holding their head. They're humble before somebody. Then they put their heads down like this halfway. Wow, they got even more humble. And when they got up, what happened next? Face on the ground, they got really humble. In other words, he's noticing that there's a progression in their humility to Allah, to whoever they're worshipping. They're getting even more and more and more subservient. This seems like they're appreciating their master, and they appreciated him more, and they appreciated him even more. The progression of salat itself teaches us
that we're supposed to evolve, grow in our humility to Allah. That's a really important point, especially if it has to do with Islamic work. You know what happens with people when they get involved with Islamic work? I'm no exception. All of us can be victim to this. The more tenured, the more experienced you get in Islamic work, the more full of yourself you get. I know what this stuff is. You're a rookie. You're a newbie. I've been a board member at the masjid for 20 years. What do these guys know? You know? I ran the MSA 2 semesters in a row. When you get experience, and you don't get more humble, you get more arrogant. Because you know, in any other job, when you have more experience, you have more credentials, you have more respect, you have more appreciation, you're worth more. Right? Allah is teaching us the exact opposite attitude. The more you grow in deen, the more humble you should get. The more humble you should get. Subhanallah. And you'll notice, it's a good check. It's a good gauge. What was Iblis's problem? Adam alayhi salam, what's on his resume? How long he's been doing so? What kind of experience he has? He gets a promotion over me. Now imagine you're a volunteer, you're helping out at the MSA at the college or at the Sunday school, you've been volunteering for 2-3 years, and they pick a new principal for the Sunday school. You even had your inauguration speech ready, and they pick this 18-year-old kid to be the principal of the Sunday school. The story of Iblis is going to repeat itself. Ana khayrun minhu? What do you mean him? I got the experience, man. I should have been the principal. That should have come to me. The story repeats itself. It's not just a story that happened a long time ago. You know? So this idea, as the more we serve, the more we're going to become humble. The extreme of humility, wasjudu. Then from there, because these two things still in the end, in essence, refer to salat. They refer to salat. What about in between the salawat? وَاعْبُدُوا رَبَّكُمْ, and enslave yourselves and worship your master. In other words, now that ruku' and sajda is done, that's not the only ibadah. You understand ibadah is more than that. Ibadah is an attitude. I'm a slave. I'm here to serve. Ibadah is how I walk, how I talk, how I think about myself, how I think about others. Your entire attitude gets transformed because of prayer. Prayer is actually a very big part of a Muslim's personality, not just our behavior. Prayer, we think of it as a behavior. But prayer actually, the daily salawat, they're supposed to have a really direct effect on how we think. Our attitudes, our thought process, our mentality. Between Dhuhr and Asr, my thoughts are going to be impacted by the Dhuhr prayer. Between Asr and Maghrib, my thoughts, my priorities are going to be impacted by the Asr prayer. It's the way a Muslim carries himself as a abd. That's shaped. That's what the salawat do. You know how pillars hold a building together? The salawat hold our day together. They hold our day together. The first circumstance, what was it again? What was the first circumstance? Something you've done yourself. And you're depressed about something you did. A lot of people have that. My recommendation is for you to carefully study the dua made by Musa alayhi salam. And you'll notice, as I talk, you'll notice that I keep trying to illustrate to you, the subject of my talk was the Qur'an's remedy for sadness. There's not one, there are thousands of remedies in the Qur'an for sadness. But I keep alluding to the fact that every time I get close to talking about a solution, what comes up? Dua. Every time I start talking about a solution, what comes up again? Dua comes up. Adam alayhi salam was sad, what did Allah give him? Allah gave him a dua. You have Ilyas alayhi salam, really just in a state of depression, sadness, and he says, I will only complain to Allah Azza wa Jalla. Right, so you have these prophetic situations and they all turn into du'as. Now this du'a is which prophet? When you made a mistake yourself? Musa alayhi salam. I'm sure you've done some pretty bad things, but I'm pretty sure you didn't punch a guy and he died. Right? Don't raise your hand, please. There's police here, just relax, okay? They're not here, you didn't have to check. When you've done something wrong, you are one of the victims. You're not just the criminal, Allah makes you suffer internally for that. You pay the price. But even if it was an honest mistake, in the case of Musa alayhi salam, that guilt of taking another life is not something easy to swallow. It doesn't leave you alone. But Allah inspired him with this beautiful dua. رَبِّ إِنِّي لِمَا أَنزَلْتَ إِلَيَّ مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَقِيرٍ. That is actually the key to moving on with life. If you've made a mistake and you don't know how to move on with life, learn from the dua of Musa alayhi salam. Master,
No doubt about it. Me, whatever good you send my way, I am desperately in need. My back is broken. I am not capable. Whatever good you send my way, I can use it. Let me explain what we mean by good here. Good means two things. Ya Allah, give me good opportunities in life. Ya Allah, don't let the mistake I made make the rest of my life a bad experience. Don't give me sadness after sadness after sadness. Give me positive experiences and good opportunities in life. By the way, right after that dua, Musa alayhi salam got a job in the next ayah. Like he made that dua, next ayah he got hired. And married. One ayah. It's pretty awesome. And that next ayah starts with a fa, which means therefore. Therefore, the girl came, called him to the dad, he told the story, she said, I'd like to, let's hire him, and the whole thing worked out. But all as a result of his dua. What we're learning that because that little fa in the ayah in Surah Al-Qasas is that du'as can have a serious impact on the rest of your life. Where am I going to find a job? I'm homeless, I'm a fugitive from the law, I ran away from Egypt, I don't even know my way around here, I'm just sitting by a puddle of water. I don't even, my shoes are torn up, my clothes are beat up, I'm sitting under a tree, I don't even know if this tree belongs to someone that kicks me out of here. Next thing, Ya Allah, send some good my way, boom, got a job, married a girl, moved in, 8-year visa, set. If you've made a major mistake in your past, then the only way to move on is to become desperate to do good deeds. He's asking Allah, Master, whatever opportunity you give me to do good, I will jump on it. I am bankrupt. Like someone bankrupt jumping towards a coin, I will jump towards a good deed. Helping someone, doing something good. Master, just give me the chance, I will do it. I have hurt another human being, I will spend the rest of my life helping human beings. This dua he made right after he helped a couple of girls get some food or some water for their animals. Then he sat down and said, Ya Allah, any other voluntary deed, hook me up. If you need me to volunteer for anything else, I'm available. Because I know what I've done in my past, and I know the only way I will know that you have blessed me in my life is if you give me opportunity to do good deeds. If you've done messed up things in the past, the way you compensate for that is you go out of your way to do what? Good things. And the lesson in Surah Al-Qasas is, the number one kind of good thing is not make more salah or make more dua. That's standard anyway. You have to do that anyway. Help people. Do good things for people. Mend relations. Visit the sick. Take care of your parents. Visit your grandparents. Talk to the cousin that you hate. Send them a gift. That stuff. He says in Surah Al-Rahman, كُلُّ مَنْ عَلَيْهَا فَانٍ. Everyone upon this earth, every human being that is, man refers to the living and includes the jinn also. He uses the word fana, fan. Fan is something that is meant to die. Fan is something that's got a timer on it. The clock is ticking on every one of us. So in a building, just like in a building, there's deterioration happening. But when deterioration happens, you blame the architect. You say, hey, this architect didn't do a good job. Look, the paint's chipping and the bricks are falling apart, etc. Or the plumbing's no good anymore. But actually, when the human being starts having issues, that's not because the architect missed something, but by design it was supposed to actually go through certain challenges. But those challenges, we should not call them flaws. They're actually tests that Allah put inside of us. Emotional ones, physical ones. Those are tests that all of us have to go through. Maybe you've been looking for a job for a long time. You can't find it. It's all you're thinking about. You're driving, you're thinking about it. Maybe you were about to get married, and 2 months before the marriage, the other family said, no, we don't like you anymore. Assalamu alaikum. And you're in depression. Like, I had everything set. You printed the cards. It was up on my Facebook page, and now they say that huzn is an onset. It sets into a person after an incident. Something happens, and as a result, you become depressed. You were hoping something worked out your way, and it didn't work out your way. In other words, Allah is saying, they will have no grief, they will have no fears on them, Judgment Day. Believers will have no fears on them, and it won't be they that are in a state of sadness. It's not them that are going to be in a state of sadness. What does that seem to indicate? If it's not them that are in a state of sadness, that means somebody else is going to be. The hum there actually indicates somebody else in between parentheses. That's the beauty of the Arabic language. What we're learning from that is you will have states of sadness in life, in this world. Huzn will be there. But a perpetual state of sadness is actually not for you. And whatever huzn you're going through is nothing compared to the huzn of that day. Whatever grief you're going through, whatever suffering or emotional trauma you're going through, and I'm not minimizing it in any way, but what Allah is saying is the huzn of that day is the actual huzn. It's the actual huzn. And it's not like if you feel sad, you must not have good iman. That's not true either. We'll talk about that a little. That'll be my second part. Is it true that if we really had iman, we would never be sad? No, absolutely not. That's not true at all. Prophets experienced a great deal of sadness. Sadness is a part of life. It's a reality of life. The Quran is not there to eliminate sadness. The Quran is there to help us navigate it. Because it is one of the tests of life. Just like happiness is one of the tests of life. Just like anger is one of the tests of life. It's not like you can eliminate anger. You can't. These are emotions that were programmed inside of us. It's like saying, like you're eliminating one of the things that is inside you, like a limb. These are the unseen limbs of our being. If you're feeling you're the only one who has this, as a matter of fact, the word bath occurs in the Quran in one of the du'as that a prophet of Allah experienced continuous bath and huzn. إِنَّمَا أَشْكُو بَثِّي وَحُزْنِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. I complain about my bath. I'm not translating now. I'm complaining about, Allah says, He says, this prophet says, I'm complaining about my bath and my huzn to Allah. To Allah. What does the dua teach us? You can even complain to Allah. Just what that ayah teaches us, I don't complain to anybody else. I talk about my suffering and my pain, and what does the complaining mean? Complaining doesn't mean, Ya Allah, come on. I'm so depressed. Help me out here. No. You know when you go to the doctor and complain? You don't slap the doctor and say, hey bro, you don't talk like, why'd you make me have allergies? You go and complain to the doctor because the complaint is actually a form of you getting his sympathy and his healing.